Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is another cooking basics video. It's the videos that I'm putting up to help my friend, or anyone for that matter, start cooking from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick dinner. I have some leftover rice here. This is brown rice, as you can see. This is the rice. Once I put it in the container that sits on my counter, and directly behind me is a window that faces due east. And then over to my right, there's another big window that faces northeast. So I would say north. Yeah, we'll say north. So this is not protected from sunlight or anything while it's sitting on my counter. And I don't know how long this lasts me. About 2 or 3 weeks or so. Maybe a month. I'm going to say a month for us to work through this container. I'm not sure what the size of it is. I don't know what the size of it is. Yeah, to work through that. But I can tell you, it's this Mylar bag. Now this Mylar bag, I want to say is a quart size. No, it's not the quart size. I don't know what size it is. I don't remember. But you can see when I packed it. Now, I'm going to say this is when I packed it and not the expiration date. But I'm going to show you a bag that I kept in there. And this is what it is. I've shown you this before. But I keep seeing these videos where they tell you brown rice only lasts for 6 months to a year. Maybe if you store it in properly. Maybe if you store it like this in a glass jar that you can see through and it's exposed to sunlight. Yeah, maybe it's 6 months to a year, it would only survive or last before it starts to go rancid. I stored it in a Mylar bag, and this was stored in a 5-gallon like food grade bucket with a top on it. And I've just broken these open because this is the next rice I need to use up. And I want to see if I can see the expiration date on here. This is November of 2027. So this is when I packed it. This is when it expires. And we are still using it. And it's fine. Now this is what I cooked. This is what's left over from the beef stew. When you see this video, it'll be a week past. I'm actually using it. It's actually 3 days old in my fridge. Because we were able to eat off the beef stew for 2 days. This is the 3rd day. So I would say this is 3 days old. And this is what it looks like. And I prefer to use like a day old or 2 day old rice for what I'm going to be making now, which is fried rice. And it just seems to hold up better. And that's what I'm going to use for my leftover rice. This is not enough. So I'm going to bulk it up with some vegetables, some meat, and a couple other things. So I'm going to make fried rice out of my brown rice that I have left over from another meal. And that's what I'm going to do. You can see when I did that. Yes, it's that old. And it's still good. Okay, so I've pulled together the rest of my ingredients for this fried rice. I just have 4 eggs here. I'm just gonna beat up, and I find if I do it with a soup spoon, it makes them fluffier than using a fork or even a whisk. I don't know. A friend of mine taught me this trick, and I asked her why she was doing it this one day, and she was like, "Oh, I find that it's fluffier." I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." And since then, that was like, I don't know, 12 years ago or so. I have never done it any other way. And yeah, it might be all in my head, but they seem fluffier to me. Have some lard, some peas and carrots. I'm going to put some ground pork in there. That's what I'm going to use. Sometimes I use ham. Sometimes I use whatever meat you want to use in there, turkey, whatever. And then, of course, my leftover rice. So I'm going to get started. I have my pan here. It's going to start warming up. And we're going to do our eggs first. Got my lard melting in there. And I'm going to get my eggs in. And get them cooked up. I'm just going to scramble them like you would normally scramble a breakfast egg. I'm going to get those scrambled up. And I'm going to set those to the side once they're cooked. Okay, so my eggs are cooked. And I'm just going to take them out of the pan because I'm going to use this same pan to cook the whole meal. And I'm just going to set them into my clean bowl. You don't want to use that same bowl, or at least wash it. that you beat the raw eggs in. You don't want to mix the two. So I'm going to put my, can't do this one-handed, put my cooked eggs into the clean bowl. So I've got my meat in the frying pan, and I didn't add any kind of spices or anything to these eggs. I'm going to add everything together, and this is why this is better the next day. But I'm going to start seasoning with my meat here. Just going to put a little bit of color on this and get the seasonings right in here with it. You can see all the juices and stuff that was in the jar, I dumped everything right on in here. It's going to get that last little bit of egg that stuck to the bottom of the pan up. And we're going to get our spices and everything in here with this. This is how easy this comes together. Okay, so for my peas and carrots veg, I'm going to drain this into a jar that I'm going to put in my fridge and just use for another meal. I don't think I'm going to need this with the juice that came off the meat. So I'm going to open this and drain the liquid that's in here in probably a mason jar or something, and put it in my fridge for later use. Okay, so here are my veg drained, and I drained it into this mason jar, which had about a half a cup of juice from something else I had opened up, and poured it in here. So I would say, I don't know if you can see that, but that says just about a cup and a quarter. So about 3/4, sorry, of a cup of water were in these. What is this, a 15 ounces of peas and carrots. So a lot of water in these peas and carrots, but that's okay. We're gonna move on with this meal. So we keep our package from takeout. We don't do takeout very often. So Chinese has been in here a while now. If it was ketchup, we actually got some of that back in July, so a couple of months ago. But yeah, it's okay because it's been in our fridge. And I'm gonna pull out some duck sauce, some hot sauce, some soy sauce to go into this dish, and some mustard to go in. Okay, so along with those restaurant packets, I'm going to use some teriyaki stir-fry sauce I have. Use that, and I have a little bit of these toasted sesame oil that I'm going to put in as well into my stir-fry, or my fried rice as I'm calling it today. Okay, so I've got all my packets in. I've got some soy sauce, the duck sauce, the mustard sauce, and then some hot sauce. I'm going to put in some of this teriyaki sauce out of the bottle. And I'm going to add a little bit of my toasted sesame seed oil. Not very much left in here, but I just need a little. And we're going to get that incorporated into the meat before I add in my rice and veg and warm that through. And as you can see, most of that egg has come off the bottom. There's a few pieces still left down there, but most of it's come off. And this is going to be, I'm going to taste it and see if I need any salt and pepper. But that soy sauce is rather salty, so I don't think I'm going to need any. So I'm just going to get this warmed through with the seasoning. So now I just have to bring everything together. I've just added the egg back in. Get that mixed in. I'm going to add the peas and carrots in. Just dump it all in. Start mixing it in so it gets coated in the sauce. And if you need to add more sauce, you can. I wouldn't add it a lot at the beginning. Just add more if you need it. It might not need it. It might or might not need it, depending on how much add-ins you have. So now, if I can get the container open, I'm going to start adding in my rice. Adding in my rice and get it all mixed in. And it's as simple as that. Okay, so I did add a little bit more sauce in, probably in like another 1/4 cup. And I'm going to get this all mixed in together. So all the flavors. Yeah, trying to stir this and talk at the same time. Obviously, that's not a skill I have right now. All these flavors get melted together. And basically now I'm just warming through the vegetables. The meat's already warmed through, and the rice that was left over from another meal. And this is going to be tonight's dinner of pork fried rice. That's basically what it is. And there it is, dinner. All ready to go, nicely warmed through. Yep, pork fried rice, easy peasy, better than fast food because you know what's going in it, and no crazy MSG or anything else in it.
And that, my friends, is a quick, easy meal using leftovers. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless, and remember, stay safe and keep prepping.